I just took a shower. I made food. I went to the gym. It is... That's Biggie Small. It's not Biggie Smalls, is it? It's Tupac. It is... Ooh. 4:36. And it is the 18th of December. But it doesn't feel like it right now because it's quite warm. And I'm pretty much on my own in this house. I'm in my student house fort. I've been doing my dissertation work in the fort. And the reason I'm not home for the holidays yet, I'm going to go back on like Sunday, but it's because I wanted to, well, ideally, I wanted to get some shifts in. But it turns out because I have 2 jobs. Did I mention I have 2 jobs? That's my like running bit. I have 2 jobs. Are they real jobs? I don't know. To me, they are. 2 part-time jobs, and I thought I was going to get a few shifts in. I didn't. The only one I have is on Friday for 3 hours, so I've been just doing uni work, basically, which has been doing me good, because usually when I'm at home, I am unable to concentrate, for I do not have a bed there. I used to share... Oh, you already know this. Like, sometimes I have to borrow someone's bed, or sometimes there's a mattress situation, but I no longer share a room with my sister, so whenever I go home, I don't have my own bed. Which is okay. Like, that's fine. Yeah, that's literally fine. I have a bad hair. Could be way worse. I just mean that it's very difficult to do uni work. Because I just want to be hanging out with my family. And also I don't have a room of my own. I guess this is just a little update from me. I'm doing pretty well. I mean, I just came back from the gym. I'm feeding myself, doing my work, which is very not typical of how December usually goes for me. It's actually been a pretty good month. It's been a really good month. Usually it's like my least favorite month of the year, but it doesn't even feel like December. So, we were in Wales, me and my family, for my sister's birthday. That was really, really nice. I bought an expensive dress. It was £50. Which, it's really nice though. And I think I'm going to wear it to my graduation, which is next year. So there's that. Yeah, I've been going to the gym pretty consistently-ish. Yeah, I'd say I've been going to the gym for like a month now. Just over a month. Which is crazy. Because you know on those like surveys or questionnaires about health, and they're like, how many times do you go to the gym? I was always just less than once a month, that kind of thing. But now I can say like at least 3 times a week. Oh my god. Like I've entered a new circle, which makes me feel very... And also just like in general, I lock in at the gym. For a while, I can't lie, I think I was doing too much. I was doing too much. I was like, oh, it's a playground. So I'm gonna go on the monkey bars. Well, yes. So I was doing that. I was just playing around. And then I started to lock in like, okay, so in order for you to feel stronger and have more energy and be toned or whatever it is that I want to do, you can't spend 2 hours at the playground. Because you just can't. It's not even play. It's actually going to be the adult gymnasium. So lock in. So I've been doing that, and it's weird. Like I can feel. I don't know if it's just placebo, but I can feel. I just feel better. Okay, not that I didn't feel good before, but I just feel like I have more control. Like I'm like I know what muscles are working right now. It really makes the human body, which I did not listen in science. I'm supposed to be Filipino. I'm supposed to be a nurse. But yeah, that kind of thing doesn't interest me. But when it comes to like the anatomy, how things work, and like the effect on your, I don't know, the way it positively affects your daily life, and I think that's really nice because I see the positive effects on my life, and because I want. It's like, okay, I wrote this stupid little thing just in my notes app, and I find myself repeating, like, oh my god, I love me. She feeds me. She takes me home. And I think that's, like, where I'm at right now, era-wise. Like, I feed myself. I transport myself places. Did I end up spontaneously in Paris the other week? Yeah. That's a story for another day, actually, because everything that could go wrong at the airport did go wrong. It's actually the most stressful thing ever. But who was there with me the entire time? Me. And who was making me laugh and just being like, it's okay, you'll be okay? Me. So me being disciplined and going to the gym purely because it makes me feel good, it's just a step in the right direction. And on the topic of taking care of myself, I need to take my sertraline. I'm eating it with raw. I hope to continue going to the gym. I hope to do a lot of things. The Instagram campaign that I was a part of with Fred again. I don't know. I don't want to say nothing's changed. But maybe it's a perspective thing. So it's changed everything for me, and it was my foot in the door moment, and it was the best moment of my life. I wouldn't aggrandize it to that point. It was very important that day to be a part of it. I think it was mutually beneficial for everyone. But I think, and the things that I learned that day, like, it's difficult to reduce into words every valuable thing that I learned from it. But I found what's interesting is the fact that it's out now, and I'm kind of in it. I am in it. But just the fact that I have had a part in it, to me, the emphasis is on how it feels reputationally now. Because family and friends have seen the campaign just, being advertised. And I think representationally, it makes this whole thing with Crushed Velvet and music real. So I think what I'm trying to get at really inarticulately is the idea of like, why did that make it feel more real? Because it is real. I should think about it as real. I remember that day and feeling like, oh my god, these are actual musicians. Like, I'm here on like a field trip. Like, I'm not supposed to be here. I remember saying that. I feel like I'm not supposed to be here, but not in like a. You're like, oh, I'm not supposed to be here. More like, yeah, it's like culturally, really like, wow, oh my gosh, everything's happening. This is so cool. What was I saying? I don't know anymore. I think that's on a level of like perception, and you know, the influence of something like a campaign having on people's perception of you. Like, honestly, I'm just thinking about people that I used to go to school with, and if they just see my face, even in like half a second of that beautiful, beautiful campaign, just having a part in it is really like, I still can't believe it. I think that's the thing, like, I'm not trying to downplay it at all, like, I just can't believe it. Like, I see all the other people and like Fred and all of that, and I'm like, yeah, and then I see me and I'm like, now who's what am I doing there? That's crazy. What am I doing there? Because that's me, obviously, and I'm sure the other people who took part also think about that, or maybe they probably don't. I don't know. I think, okay, what this is going to lead me to talk about is, yeah, I want to talk about Crush Velvet. It is my, like, I don't know, I was thinking about what, I was really stressed out, actually. I was thinking about what life after graduation might look like, and I was losing my mind, I'll be real. I thought I was, you know, and I'm not, totally rejecting this idea, actually. I thought straight after I graduate, I'm going off and I'm going to the EU, I'm moving to the EU, because let's be honest, the UK and the jobs here, and also just, I don't know, maybe it was because it was like November at the time or early December, and I was like, it's miserable here. I don't like the people, I don't like how education's going, I don't like this, I don't like that. There are many things that I don't like, but there are many things that, like, I do. So maybe I just need to wait on it. I mean, I was born here, so I guess it's very easy for me to criticize. So I think that's what I need. I need to, like, give it some time and really think about it, because, like, just picking up and moving to somewhere I've never been, whilst that is definitely something I would do, I'm not too sure what this has to do with band is, because the biggest thing for me when I was thinking about all these things was, but I want to still be able to do band. Be in a band. I want to be in a band. I'm connecting the dots here. Like, the campaign made it feel like, oh, she is a music person, she does music, and it never really felt like that. I just always saw myself as like, I'm in a band, and what does that mean to me? It's family, and connection with other people, it's community, and conversation with other people, it's friendship, and music as it stands. Sometimes I think of it like, oh, that's an industry. I don't know anything about any industry. That's why I'm hoping to just, at some point, do a master's, then a PhD, because I'm not trying to be in any industry. Okay, I'm just trying to read my books and write about them. What am I talking about? Oh yeah, the plan was to go to the EU and do a master's in cultural studies. I think I'll still do that. I don't think I'm not going to do that. But I don't know if I'll go straight away. I don't think I'll go straight away. I do want to do it though. Like, I can see myself being... I just have this image of myself. I'm an old lady. Properly old. Saggy boobs. Wrinkles. You know. And I have my own chair. Granny's chair, you know. And I have a big family. Whether biological or chosen, I just have a massive family. So there's people in the house all the time. And I can imagine myself, I'm covered in these, like, in rings, maybe some tattoos, you know. My hair is completely white. And I'm like an outrageous woman. Just outrageous. She wears all of it. She wears all of it. And she has her degrees on the wall. She has her awards, her Grammys. Okay, cut the cameras. That's a bit too much. But you know, Album of the Year, Brit. Brit Award, Best New Artist on the wall. And the awards that she won for the films that she did. Or maybe she did a music video. Maybe there's a music video awards, I don't know. But she's also been a professor. Many things. Many, many things. Oh my god. Like, I don't know what point I'm trying to make, but at my core, whenever I make decisions, I'm always thinking about what would that mean for Crush Velvet. Because there is no because. It just is. It is just a fact. And honestly, we fell on some hard times this year. And this was the first year we really started, like, gigging, I guess. We did play live last year, but gigging properly, like, getting bookings and stuff this year. We saw a change of drummer. We saw that the current drummer we have now, fall quite ill. And the previous drummer, there was complications there. And especially since we all lived in the same house. And I think from this side of the timeline, I'm very lucky because I often downplay how difficult all of that was for my mental health. It was quite bad. Not in a way like I'm looking for pity, but just like it was a struggle. It was. Conflating interpersonal stuff with this project that I care very much about. I think it's probably because the music and the live aspect of it has given me so much. It's given me so much beyond, like, the passion that I have for education and music. They coexist. Maybe not music specifically, but, you know, creative expression. And I'm sure that's the same for everyone, if not most people. So I'm not special in any regard, but, like, when things were pretty rough, when it came to the dynamics of the band, it destroyed me. It genuinely destroyed me, because I think, like I said, it's given me so much. My confidence in what I write. I used to like freak out if anyone read anything I wrote. I used to be so embarrassed, like so embarrassed. And embarrassed reduces it. I used to just be so ashamed of me as a person. I used to hate myself, which is really sad. I genuinely used to like absolutely despise myself. That's why she's a girl on Searchly. I would disappear for like prolonged periods of time, thinking I was doing the right thing. I would just go missing. And that was something that I would do a lot of the time when things were rough. Like, conflating the drama and music. It felt like an attack on my soul. Like, the timeline was being compressed, and all the misdeeds towards me, from childhood to just day-to-day passing things, it just made me want to like disappear. Like, I was disruptive to how things are supposed to work. Whereas music had given me this sort of language that we use, the shared connection. Like, I always think of that moment when the band was starting up and we went to rehearse in a rehearsal studio for the first time, and we were just so excited. We were so excited, and there were times where there were songs like covers that we could do because we had just rehearsed them prior to being in that space, and we got so excited when like things started to match, like we were in time and in key. Really simple stuff, but like this synchronization blew my mind, that like beyond language we could be talking, communicating in a way in which we all understand. And I think it's that thing where people are like, oh yeah, no, I used to go to church and feel really moved by the spirit. Turns out I just really like live music. That's me. That is me. Like, I used to be the kind of teenager that not ran away, but time and time again, I was always like to my parents, yeah, I'm gonna stay over at my friend's house, and I'm actually in a mosh pit in the city. That's what I used to do, and it used to be so serious. I used to get in like such drama because of my sneaking around, or like how adamant going to these things were to me, like how I absolutely had to be there. And I don't think that's an experience that's ever left me or ever will leave me in this period of time where we're not gigging, this is a choice, like we don't want to do any gigs whilst we're incomplete if they're not, just acoustic, me, Mary, and a guitar. It's that same thing where I'm just itching to be back there, whether on stage or in a mosh pit. And so for when things with the inner workings of band were difficult, it was like, oh my gosh, so this thing that is sort of like a salvation for me I'm never gonna get this rice again. It was like the white people rice. I ran out of my jasmine rice, and then it's too expensive to get like the whole thing, but that's more worth it. So I got this like 69p white people rice, and there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with white people rice. I'm just saying, I'm not gonna get it again. 69p though. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. We were falling on rough times. This thing that I consider like a salvation for me. And having this drama, or I hate it. It was drama. Genuinely, it was drama. It was such a non-issue. But with all of that going on, I'm talking specifically when it came to band, not the other things around it, because it's a complicated situation that I don't really care about anymore. I only really care about it in this context, about when it comes to how it affected music, band related stuff. Get to your point. Okay, so a safe space for me, you know? It's given me so much. I am able to express myself. I'm able to, you know, feel like an entire person rather than be so like overwhelmed and overtaken by shame. Just to be on that stage and think about like not be there, not physically like, well, I'm physically there, but to not be present because I'm too caught up in external bullshit and conflict that's going on, when arguably the entire reason I run to this kind of thing, time and time again, I find myself in the pit, in front of live music, totally enthralled, is to run away from that sort of conflict of the everyday. It was making me lose my mind, because it's like, damn, not even music can rid me of my shame, because it was a situation that made me feel very, very shameful, that whole thing. I'm not sure where I was going with that. And now, yeah, with us taking a little break from live gigs other than acoustic, I think that's what I'm trying to say. I'm just itching to be back, but in a way, I kind of feel like, at least individually, I don't know about the others, but I feel like it's good just to have time to be a person and do things. Just to do things. And to go back to, you know, this plan that I had, I don't really know what post-graduation next summer will actually look like. I don't think I am going to run away to the EU. If anything, it wouldn't be running away. I'd be going there because I have reason to be there. I think maybe I'll go. My parents are thinking of, you know, converting the attic, which you can't like enter, into a room for me, which I'm very, very grateful for. So if that happens, I know I always say that I am not trying to live and die in Kettering, in the Shire. But my idea of home, and after 3 years of uni, I think I am in the mood to go home. My idea of home, even if it's a place where I don't have my own bed, it's just wherever my family is. So I'd rather live and die in the Shire and enjoy a life with my family, who are also inviting me back in with open arms, than, you know, go off somewhere else and, you know, I can't live. I was thinking about this when I was so adamant, I'm going to move to Paris, I'm going to go to the EU, and all of that. I was saying, like, Aliana, you can't live your life wishing you were somewhere else. Yeah, you can't live your life wishing you were somewhere else. And I think, realistically, the best place for me to be, where I wouldn't wish I was somewhere else after, you know, my tenancy here ends, would be to go home for a bit and figure it out. I think there's pressure for graduates to be fast-paced. Like, you need to find a job, you need to find a graduate job. I guess it depends on the sector that you're in, but I don't really care about that. I don't really care about that is, I think, what I'm trying to say. Like, I'd rather, you know, put down just the foundation to figure out, like, what kind of adult do I want to be? And going home is a good way to start. Like, first of all, the kind of adult I want to be is someone who's close to my family. Boom. I think, yeah, family and people and connection are very important to me, because in that same breath I would say that I also want to see where else band can go. But I think that, I was going to say that I can imagine us being the kind of band who does gigs, yes, but maybe is not so much in like this headspace to grind away album, EP, single, more like how Lorde does it, where every 3 years or whenever it feels right, she comes out with it's an amazing album about like where she's been, and it's like an update because she'd been living her life in that time, maybe coming off the back of the tour of her previous album, but also like going into that new era of life. And I think that's something we would be able to do, so why not do it? It was very much something that we can do, which we are very lucky and privileged to have, which also means that, you know, this other dream of me wanting to pursue academia even more is also something that is doable. I can sort of have both because I am greedy. I'm greedy and I want everything. I want all the lives. I do. It's the same. It's going back to this vision of me as an old lady, and she has all these, not even accolades just to have them up, but she's proud of herself because she's done all of those things because she wanted to. It's evidence that she wanted to do something and she did it. Not that she needs the evidence, but it's nice to be reminded of your achievements. But, I mean, you can even see on her person, she is exactly who she thinks she is. She has the cultural contributions that she's made to back that up. And maybe not in terms of like a global, oh my god, huge scale, but more so like she's done stuff. And that, the sort of measurement of time where it's like, so you're gonna find like an entry-level graduate job, okay, you're gonna be intern, and then you're gonna like work your way up. That's just not for me personally. It looks sick though. It does look sick. Sometimes I'm like, oh, would be nice, but I'm like, unfortunately, I can't do that. I'm gonna run off somewhere and do something else. I wanted to talk about this idea that I have. I know you shouldn't talk with your mouth full, but like there's no one here, so I kind of you don't see anything. This is a HP laptop. It's gonna fuzzle that up, so you're fine. But article that I have in mind is, so whilst I was in Wales, we were watching Wake Up Dead Man, the new Knives Out film, and you can hear Denise and her boyfriend. Oh, so there are people in the house. Right. Oh yeah, no, I watched Wake Up Dead Man. And I wanted, the working title was, What's the Deal with All the Priests? Because I watched Conclave earlier this year and I loved it. And then I was also thinking about, like, in all the edits, you just see photos of Fleabag, the edits of Josh O'Connor's character in Knives Out, and just Fleabag being like, which I get, like, well, yes. Hey, I would go to that church. Hey. Oh, we're confessing? Okay. Count me in. But I think about religion a lot. Can you tell through my lyrics? Can you tell? Especially, like, I've just fallen in love with Ethel Cain whilst I've been at uni. My uni years have been soundtrack to her, and Willoughby Tucker, I Will Always Love You, is probably my favourite album of the year. It's my favourite album of the year. Yeah, no, I just say it's my favourite album of the year. Oh god! But these ideas of, I was in the shower, okay, and the way that Judd, I don't want to call him Judd, Josh O'Connor, the priest, how does one refer? Yeah, just Josh O'Connor's character. The way that he describes religion and how the lighting does that thing, and just belief. Maybe it's less about religion. I just thought it was so interesting, especially with all the, what do they call it, like religious determinant? No, just this conflating the church and politics, which we see a lot of, and it isn't really. It's sort of taking ideas and using them for as like ego or gain. It's not really anything, but forcing people to be more divided. I think there are things I want to thread together. That movie, Conclave, Hot Priest, even the vicar from This Country comes to mind. I don't know why, he's not even Catholic. And then songs like Chinese Satellite, where she's like, just, I want to believe. Like, I want to believe. Like, the act of believing and belief. I think that's the whole thing. Like, I just want to believe in something. Just for a sense of meaning. And seeing Catholicism specifically, because that is just what I happen to have experience with. Less so as an institution, but built on meaning making. So, these stories that we tell ourselves. Even in stained glass, we see those stories and the beauty of stained glass. Or the songs, the architecture. It's so beautiful. And worthy of criticism for, the cost and what churches should be using that money towards. But making this art like this sort of expression of belief. Believing that life has meaning because of it. Of these things. That's something I always return to. And I feel like I've completely lost my train of thought.